Confucius, there's a person, Confucius, the philosopher and public speaking scholar. He was a philosopher and a public speaking scholar. He thought that a good speech, not a good story, a good speech should impact on individuals' lives, regardless of whether they were in the audience or they heard that story from somebody else. He believed that someone power could influence the world with words and actions, right? So उसी के मद्देनजर चलते हुए एक छोटा सा डिस्कशन पब्लिक स्पीकिंग इन इंडिया, उस पे एक पैनल डिस्कशन हम कर रहे हैं. एंड आई वुड लाइक टू कॉल अपॉन स्टेज आवर मॉडरेटर प्राची सिंह. प्लीज गिव हर अ बिग राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज. शी इज फाउंडर पर्सनल डेवलपमेंट मूवमेंट and personal development coach, and she is also an author. Prachi Singh. So now I would like to call upon the stage our panelists. First, I would like to call upon stage Brigadier Sushil Bhasin. Please give him a big round of applause. The investment strategist, keynote speaker, trainer and coach. Our next panelist is Dr.Vikas Singh, founder, vice chancellor of Geeta University, Panipat, from where I have passed out. Yes, sir, Geeta Institute. Yes. And next, I would like to call upon stage. Thank you so much, sir. Maninder Singh, founder and CEO of CF Group, Secretary of Bal Bharati Academy. Please give them a big round of applause. Now, not final and the least, our last panelist, Amit R. Agarwal. Please give him a very big round of applause. Founder of Popcorn Flix, founder of Talent Ka Maha Utsav, editor-in-chief, www.bold.news.com. Please give our panelists a big round of applause.
Thank you so much. Very warm welcome to all of you. My name is Prachi Singh and I'm truly honored here to be the moderator of this wonderful panel discussion. People who are the achievers, who are the decision makers, who have done a lot in their life, in their endeavors, and we'll be discussing about public speaking industry in India. I remember one quote of Shakespeare in one of his drama, that is As You Like It, that world is a stage. World is a stage and we all are the players and we are doing our roles. We have our own exits and entrances. So during those exit and entrances, we have one thing which we are doing, that is our life. And in our life, we have different roles and responsibilities. And to play that roles and responsibilities, public speaking is required. Because we have to make ourselves present on this stage, the stage which is world, as Shakespeare said. So I have few set of questions. Before I start, I welcome all of you, all the panelists here. And everything what we have to, I have just written it, so please bear with me, because I did not want कि कुछ भी मैं ऐसा मिस करूं जो आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ. My first question would be with Mr. Amit. Sir, as we know that India is a versatile country, right? And we have diverse languages, cultures. How do you feel public speaking bridges gaps and connects people? And what advice would you offer to those looking to overcome language barriers in public speaking? As you have versatile profile. You have visited every part of India as a journalist, and you have international exposure as well. So what is your view on that?
Hello everybody, and thank you Prachi for this question. जो पब्लिक स्पीकिंग है, मैं एक्चुअली एक फिल्म मेकर हूँ, और जो हमारा काम होता है, जस्ट लाइक one picture is more than 1,000 words, one film is more than 10,000 pictures. At the same time, जो हम फिल्म से भी कहते हैं वो एक कहानी कहते हैं. तो जो कहानी, आजकल ऑडियो बुक्स काफ़ी चल गई हैं, मुझे नहीं पता आप लोगों ने ऑडियो बुक्स सुनी हैं कि नहीं. ऑडिबल पे काफ़ी स्टोरीज आती हैं, रेडियोज़ पे आता है. तो ये जो पब्लिक स्पीकिंग है, ये बहुत ही एक इम्पॉर्टेंट टूल है, और ये एक ऐसा टूल है जो लैंग्वेजेस की बात की आपने, ये लैंग्वेजेस का भी जो एक बैरियर है वो भी तोड़ देता है. और इसके बारे में मैं एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग सा एनेक्डोट शेयर करना चाहूँगा. कान फिल्म फेस्टिवल मेरे ख्याल से यहाँ पे सब लोगों ने सुना होगा, और एक हमारे बहुत ही बड़े अभिनेता हैं अमिताभ बच्चन साहब, उनका भी नाम शायद सब लोगों ने सुना होगा. तो जब उन्होंने अपनी पहली हॉलीवुड फिल्म की द ग्रेट गैट्सबी, तो उसका प्रीमियर, इट वाज द ओपनिंग फिल्म एट द 2013 कान फिल्म फेस्टिवल. और फ्रेंच जो हैं, कहना नहीं चाहिए ऐसे, फ्रेंच जो हैं अपनी भाषा के अलावा किसी दूसरी भाषा को, इंग्लिश को भी कोई बहुत मायने नहीं देते. तो वहाँ पे हमारे ऑस्कर विनर लियोनार्डो डिकैप्रियो थे, टोबी मैगवायर, मार्गरेट रॉबी, बैज लहमैन, इस टाइप के जो सेलिब्रिटीज़ हैं वो थे. उन्हीं के साथ मिस्टर बच्चन भी थे, जिन लोगों ने अगर ग्रेट गैट्सबी देखी हो तो 10 मिनट का कुल रोल था उनका, बट ही वॉज गिवन अ प्रॉपर अकॉर्ड ओवर देयर. तो जब सब लोगों ने बोल लिया तो मिस्टर बच्चन ने हिंदी में बोलना शुरू किया, और वहाँ पे जो है एक इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेटर और एक फ्रेंच ट्रांसलेटर ने उनकी जो बात थी उसको ट्रांसलेट किया. और जो ग्रैंड लूमियर्स जो सिनेमा होता है, जहाँ पे कि कान फिल्म फेस्टिवल की ओपनिंग फिल्म दिखाई जाती है, इट्स एन ऑडिटोरियम ऑफ ह्यूज ऑडिटोरियम, करीब 3600 लोगों के बैठने का जो है वो ऑडिटोरियम होता है. और उसके बाद सब लोगों ने खड़े होके ताली बजाई, और लियोनार्डो डिकैप्रियो और ये टोबी मैगवायर भी देख रहे हैं कि व्हाट हैपेंड, मतलब हमारी स्पीच के बाद किसी ने खड़े होके ताली नहीं बजाई और यहाँ पे खड़े होके ताली बजाई. तो दैट वाज अ प्राउड मोमेंट फॉर मी एज एन इंडियन. तो इट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन द पब्लिक स्पीकिंग. ऐसा नहीं है कि लियोनार्डो ने अच्छा नहीं बोला या टोबी मैगवायर ने अच्छा नहीं बोला, बोला सब ने अच्छा, लेकिन जो हिट किया ऑडियंसेस को वो ये किया कि उन्होंने अपनी जो मातृभाषा है हिंदी, उसमें बोला, और उसको एक फ्रेंच ट्रांसलेटर और एक इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेटर ने ट्रांसलेट किया. तो यहाँ पे ये जो लैंग्वेज का बैरियर कह रही थी, अगर आपकी पब्लिक स्पीकिंग स्किल्स अच्छी हैं तो ये जो लैंग्वेज का बैरियर है, ये आप बड़े अच्छे से उसे क्या कहते हैं, उस गैप को ओवरकम कर सकते हैं. और बाकायदा पब्लिक स्पीकिंग के लिए अभी पहले भी लोगों ने कहा कि वी नीड प्रॉपर ट्रेनिंग, और मुझे लगता है कि एक बहुत गैप है अभी भी जो इंडिया में पब्लिक स्पीकिंग है, और जो पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट है, और जिस तरीके से इंडिया ग्रो कर रहा है और इंटरनेशनल मार्केट्स में जा रहा है. जैसे मैं न्यूज़ चैनल्स देखता हूँ काफ़ी सारे, और उसमें काफ़ी एमिनेंट पर्सनैलिटीज़ को मैं देखता हूँ कि वो बोल नहीं पा रहे हैं सही से. तो एक बहुत बड़ा गैप है, और जो ये हमारी पब्लिक स्पीकिंग इंडस्ट्री है, पर्सनैलिटी ग्रूमिंग की इंडस्ट्री है, पब्लिक इमेज की इंडस्ट्री है, there is a huge scope in that. Did I answer your question correctly?
Thank you so much, Mr. Amit. I think everybody would agree. बिल्कुल ठीक कहा आपने. अगर हम भारत की बात करें तो जो हमारी सभ्यता रही है उसमें बहुत पहले, अगर हम वैदिक युग की बात करें तो शास्त्रार्थ की एक परंपरा हुआ करती थी, और उसके बाद भी बहुत सारे ऐसे स्पीकर्स हुए. लाइक अगर हम चाणक्य though Chanakya was a bold speaker and all. तो language जो आज मुझे भी as a personal development coach लोग मिलते हैं, they feel like no, this is not my area, or maybe the language is the barrier, or this is not my job. But why you just said very well कि आप internationally, nationally कहीं भी जाएं, language has not to be barrier. आप इंडिया में कम से कम हिंदी में तो बात कर ही सकते हैं. सो यू शुड नॉट मिस एनी स्टेज इफ यू हैव टू एक्सप्रेस योर सेल्फ. थैंक यू सो मच मिस्टर अमित. ओके, सो आई वुड नाउ ask the next question to my next panelist, Dr. Vikas. Sir, universities play a significant role in shaping confident and articulate individuals. I would like to understand from you and from your expertise, experiences, how can educational institution contribute to nurturing the public speaking talents of students and preparing them for real world communication in challenges in India, maybe in abroad as well?
Thank you, Prachi, for this very interesting question, and I thank Author Sherry for inviting me to this program and allowing me to share my thoughts on this panel discussion. This is one very important point for all of us, especially the academicians, to understand that the institutions, earlier when we were getting admission to IIMs or IITs, we were getting very happy. The entire family was very happy. The reason was that just by getting into those institutions, you are sure that you are going to get a very good job afterwards. So employability was, beyond doubt. But very recently, you might have come across the news, items which says that very large companies like Google and Microsoft, they are doing away from any campus placement or any such drives. What they are saying now, that you even do not require a degree. So it means that the knowledge part, when we go to an institution, we get primarily knowledge. Now knowledge is something which is available to everyone on YouTube. You just write political science and Harvard professor, you will get lectures on political science by a good Harvard professor. You write on YouTube leadership and professor from University of Michigan, you will get lectures from professor of Michigan on leadership. So it means the institutions are now can only give you a good networking. Networking means you can be with like-minded people and you can get some good mentors, at the university. The major role is now for skills. And when we say skills, again, skills are of two types, hard skills and soft skills. So when we say hard skills, again in hard skills, there is a big challenge, 10 years back, we were talking about C, C++ in IT area. Then we had 5 years, 6 years back, we had Python. Now we are talking of Django. So it means every 2-3 years, you have a new technology which is coming up. And now we are talking of AI and, this artificial intelligence, machine learning. So it means hard skills are also not a guarantee to a secure career. I think now the thing which is left is soft skills. And public speaking is one very important part of soft skills. Why I'm saying this, if you are asked to write a small speech, you are in class and your teacher asks that tomorrow you are going to make a small presentation of 5 minutes, let's say. Even for that 5 minutes presentation, of course, there will be a lot of anxiety, in any student. But what is required? Now, required is, number one, a critical thinking approach. Why critical thinking? Because in 5 minutes, he can only cover certain number of topics, certain number of things. So out of the entire knowledge that he has, I would say, corroborated from different sources, he needs to articulate a 5 minutes kind of in a speech. So that critical thinking opportunity is there. The anxiety will be put to rest and the confidence will start building up in the student. And if your peer group, if in a class, if your classmates are clapping at the end of your speech, if your teacher is, praising you at the end of your speech of 5 minutes, you just cannot imagine what kind of, confidence booster, that can be. All institutions, all good institutions, the university which I am heading, Gita University, this is responsibility of every teacher in every subject, every course, that you would create opportunities where students will be coming to this stage, coming to the podium and sharing their thoughts with the students. Because just lecturing, delivery of lectures, delivery of knowledge is not going to make them successful. And our teachers, maybe not all of them can compete with the best teachers which are available on YouTube. You have so many good coaches, so many good teachers available. So the point is, institutions needs to create opportunities where students can apply their critical thinking, apply their intellect, could learn, how to deliberate, how to make presentations, how to present those thoughts. So every institution is taking steps in that direction, and that is why, this is one area where we all are working, and we all need to work, even more in the days to come. Because, if I can take one more minute, India, as we say, is now 3.4 trillion economy, and in another 7 years' time, we are going to be 6.8 trillion economy. So it looks to be one number, but what we are meaning here is that whatever was done in Ramchandraji's time, or Krishnji's time, or pre-Mughal time, or Mughal time, or British time, whatever we have achieved so far in last more than 5,000 years, we are going to achieve in next 7 years. So it means there is going to be plenty of opportunities in all directions. Today, more than 60 Fortune 500 companies are headed by a person of Indian origin who is student of our own higher education system. It means opportunities are going to be plenty, and the critical factor, the edge which Indians are going to have is basically their soft skills, because we already believe in Sanatan Dharma, we also already believe in Atiti Devo Bhava. With this kind of attitude, with this kind of approach, and with proper training and skilling and coaching, I believe Indian students they are going to be having further huge role to play on the world scene. Thank you so much. Again, I believe I answered your question.
I have one more thing to ask. Thank you, sir. One thing is coming in my mind. As you have said that we have huge opportunities our students are going to get, how ready we are as our universities, our institutions, what at the management level plannings are going on for that, and soft skills and public speaking is going to be the most demanded area, because only knowledge, only skill is not going to work. We have to present ourselves. और अभी जो चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, जैसे आपने कहा आने वाले 7 सालों में इंडिया जो जिस तरह की छलांग लगाएगा वो शायद बहुत बड़ी छलांग है, तो हम कितना तैयार हैं अभी इसके लिए?
You're right. I'm happy that you have add-on question to this. Abhi, the speaker was saying about Confucius. I'm not sure whether you have heard the name of Seneca. Seneca is another Roman philosopher, and he mentioned what is luck. And I think there are so many people who have defined luck, but I believe he has defined luck in the best possible way. He said luck is marriage of two things: opportunity and preparedness. Opportunity and preparedness. I can assure you, each one of you, because I do this every day with my students, that there is going to be plenty of opportunities. The only thing is whether you are prepared for those opportunities. It means the work should be done on preparedness, because then every one of them will be lucky. If after 10 years anyone sitting here or any young kid in our family is not successful, then India is not responsible, world is not responsible. Then lack of preparedness of that student, of that kid, is going to be responsible. You were talking about, there are so many students I receive which have doubts about their language skills. Public speaking, critical thinking is very different from language competence. Let's say I decide that I'm never going to go to international location. I'm always going to work in India only. Then it means I do not require an international link language. English is a link language. If I go out of the country, I need English to link with different people. Within the country, I need link language, which is Hindi. Hindi is a good link language. But if I decide I'm only going to be in Tamil Nadu, I'm going to do a state government job in Tamil Nadu or I am going to open my shop in Tamil Nadu and work there only. Then I do not require any Hindi also as link language. Maybe Tamil is going to be good for me for my 95% of oral transactions. The point is, language competence is secondary. The confidence in your personality, your soft skills, the way you present things, whatever language you are using English, you are using Hindi, you are using your mother tongue, that's not that critical. The critical thing is you should be able to express with confidence what you are trying to convey, what you are trying to say. That preparedness is essential. Every institution, I can guarantee about my institution, Gita University, but every institution of any, I would say, worth is taking good steps in preparing these young kids to be very, very successful in the coming years, because opportunities are going to be aplenty in every direction. The only thing is you should find out what is your value system, what is your ethos, what is your goal. And if your goal, if your value system is decided, then any dream can turn into reality in next 10 years in India. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I think we all have got whatever is going on with the institution, universities, and what kind of preparation is going on. And India is going to be the next superpower, and we will have so many public speakers who will talk about us, about the country, the glory of the country, and the intellect of the country, जो कि अब शुरू हो गया है. सर, यहाँ पे मुझे एक संस्कृत का एक छोटा सा श्लोक याद आ रहा है कि वीर भोग्या वसुंधरा. जो वीर होते हैं वही इस धरती का भोग करते हैं. तो वीरता केवल हमें रण में नहीं दिखानी होती है, वीरता दिखाने के लिए कई बार हमें स्टेज पर भी आना पड़ता है, वहाँ पब्लिक स्पीकिंग चाहिए. तो मेरा अगला सवाल अब है ब्रिगेडियर भसीन जी से. Sir, how can principles of leadership you have learned in the army be applied to effectively leading and engaging an audience through speech? So this is your expertise, I know. So please.
Okay, thank you, Prachi, for that question. And I would also like to thank Sherry for this opportunity. That's why I'm lucky, because I was prepared for the opportunity. And I was listening to my fellow panelists talk about soft skills, and I always get reminded of Tony Robbins, who said, what's soft about them? They are so hard to acquire. They are not soft, they are very hard to acquire. So I prefer to call them human skills or life skills more than soft skills, because they are not easy, they are not soft. Anyway, coming back to the question that Prachi has given me. So let me first start by saying that when it comes to leaders, I want to start by saying that communication is the #1 skill set on the planet. And why do I say that? I say that because you cannot acquire any skill if your communication skills are not there. So communication skills are the #1 skill set on this planet. And when it comes to leaders, communication is not good enough. You don't have to just communicate. With your communication, you have to influence. What Marshall Goldsmith said is, leadership is influence, nothing less, nothing more. A leader is the one who knows the way and shows the way. How will you show the way if you are not able to express it? How? Convincingly, emotively, persuasively, so that whatever you communicate inspires action. If I as a leader communicate something and you listen to it, you understand it, and you grasp it fully, but take no action on it, that communication is of no use at all. So therefore, what the army taught me was a couple of things that are equally applicable in the leaders across any field, whether you are a corporate leader, a business owner, a political leader, a bureaucratic leader, or even each one of us being a self-leader. We are all self-leaders, because if you can't lead yourself, you can't lead others. So the first thing you need to do is lead yourself. So I'll tell you a couple of them. The first thing is, a leader's got to know his vision, his goal, his mission very clearly. Clarity is the point there. We have got vague goals. We want to do something. We want to get somewhere. And I always say, why don't people get what they want to get? And the answer is they don't know what they want. There's no clarity. I want to be happy, like doing what? I want to be a doctor. For what? Why? Is your why clear? So a leader must have his why clear, not only their why, but the organization's why, and is their why inclined to the organization's why. So the first point is clarity. And let me also tell you here, I got to understand the meaning of clarity just about 2-3 years back. My son is a professional photographer, and I wanted to buy a handset which had a good camera. So I took his help, and I said, tell me which camera to buy. So he told me, and I bought this camera. And then I would take a picture with it, and I would never be happy with it. But if he shot a picture with the same camera, it was better. And I told him, I said, you know, when I learned how to shoot in the army, they told me that once you've got your aim right, then you hold your breath so that the gun doesn't shake. So I do the same with the camera. And still my pictures are not as good as yours. And he turned here and he said, Dad, when did you last clean the lens? And I said, oh my God, I never do that. So he said, your picture is not clear because there is dust on your lens. Is there dust in our mind? Is there haze and fog in our mind? If a leader is hazy in his thinking, he is not going to be clear. So therefore, clarity means clearing, erasing, removing the unwanted stuff. Doesn't a sculptor do that? A sculptor has an image of a statue, and all that he does is scrapes off the unwanted wood, and what comes below is a clear picture. So that is my first point. The second point is that a leader needs to come on the stage and be able to express himself with confidence. The same way that we learn that when we go into the battlefield, we have to be confident. We have to have that self-belief that I can do it. That I will not be scared of bullets, I will not run away. Similarly, when you are a leader and you need to communicate to your people and influence your people, you've got to have that self-confidence and that self-belief. And it all gets linked on to the stage. Why does a leader need to be a good speaker? The reason is that when a leader has to communicate or pass on a message to his people, that message has to, as I said, inspire action. Can my written message do that? Yes, to some extent, but there will be no time for me to listen, to read messages, and reading will depend on my comprehension. Can I do it by any other mode? Many other modes are there, whether you can send an SMS or a WhatsApp message or a video or whatever. But when you are talking to a group of people from the stage with your eye contact, and you look into their eyes and they know that you mean what you say, and there is that conviction, then the message goes and lands into the heart and not into the ears. And if your message lands into the heart of your audience, action is evident, it happens. So therefore, I would say there are many more reasons, but I won't have the time. Communication is one, applying the principles of management is the other one. There are many things that the army leadership taught us which is applicable in the corporate world and gets linked to the stage. Thank you.
Very well said, sir. Thank you so much on your insight about leadership. And leadership is the quality, as you said, it's not important that we have to lead any group, organization. We have to lead ourselves first. So we all are already a leader and we have to understand that. And for that, we need to have a clear communication, thought process, as well as public speaking skills. So my next question is to Mr. Maninder Singh. So how important public speaking education is in India, and what steps can industry leaders can take to ensure that public speaking becomes an integral part of our education system? This is not the integral part right now. This is just that we want ऐसा होना चाहिए, जैसे सर ने भी कहा. तो क्या स्टेप्स लिए जा सकते हैं कि ये इंटीग्रल पार्ट बने हमारे एजुकेशन सिस्टम का?
Thank you, Prachi. A very good afternoon to all. It's a Sunday. Keep it little light. First of all, thank you, Author Sherry, for naming this event after my name. It's like MS Talks. My daughter called it Maninder Singh Talks. But I really became inquisitive to know what MS Talks stand for.
Million speakers talk.
Million speaker talks. Right. So that is one clarity we get today. So it's not MS Maninder Singh. Now talking about, see, we humans, have a very tremendous ability of confining ourselves in the constraints that we have around us, rather than letting ourselves open and out and free. बच्चे छोटे होते हैं तो कार्टून देखते हैं, उससे ज़्यादा सीखते हैं, क्योंकि उस कार्टून में ना जानवर होते हैं, सारे इमेजिनेशन वाले कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं, कुछ भी रियल नहीं होता, बहुत फ्री होता है. There are no boundaries, there are no sets, there are no rules, there are no regulations. ऐसे हमारी लाइफ में, in real life, the only genre which works without boundaries and specifications and BOQs are the animals, birds, and everybody else other than we human beings. तो हम बैठे होते हैं कहीं पे, एक चिड़िया बैठी होती है, उसको कोई मतलब नहीं होता whether I'm supposed to speak or no. वो चुर बीच में जाता है. What point I'm trying to make here is that if you want to unleash the true potential of speaking, if you want to unleash the true potential of expressing yourself, please don't try to get it into a curriculum. Let it be as natural as possible. So in your school, you have a physics, chemistry, maths, English, blah 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 classes. इन सब classes में क्या किया है इन subjects के साथ? I'll tell you क्या किया. So in 2013, I got a chance to host the president of MIT in India. So 2 days I was with him. Raffle Roth was his name, president of Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And I told him, sir, can we know the difference between physics, a graduation course in physics, like the best college in our country is SRCC, right? And what you teach there, what is the difference? He said, all right, I will not answer you in a public platform, I'll answer you separately. Okay? He said, you mail me the curriculum and I'll try and figure out. At that point of time, I was the vice chairman for National Council on Education. I was trying to do my bit on research on Indian education. तो मैंने उनको पूरा curriculum SRCC से लेके उनको अच्छे से मेल किया. 1 महीने तक कोई जवाब नहीं आया. When I insisted on an answer, I got a call from US, from his secretary, and she told me, Maninder sir has denied to answer this officially. It can create problems between the two countries. But he has only replied you by one sentence, that in America we teach physics, and in India you teach history of physics. Alright, so now this is very serious. ऐसे ही, whatever subjects we book in a किताब, वो confined हो जाते हैं. और अगर पब्लिक स्पीकिंग को बढ़ाना है तो इसको किताब में नहीं डालना, इसको फिजिकल एजुकेशन की तरह ट्रीट करना है, इसको डेली लाइफ की तरह ट्रीट करना है, इसको सांस लेने की तरह ट्रीट करना है. लाइक सर सेड, दिस इज समथिंग विद व्हिच यू कनेक्ट राइट फ्रॉम बिगनिंग. Alright, so in our institutions, in our academics, in our platforms, public speaking should not be made a subject, it should be made a way of life कि आपको बोलना है, and should be told to our young generation and everybody कि behave like animals, behave like birds, not in mannerisms, but the way they communicate when they have to. Right? Behave like nature. Get inspired by nature to communicate. Alright? जब बहुत ज़्यादा तकलीफ होती है, आप अपने घर में हो और बहुत ज़्यादा टेंशन फील कर रहे हो, कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, शायद पेरेंट्स से प्रेशर आ रहा है, आपके फेलो कलीग से प्रेशर आ रहा है, कुछ आ रहा है, फिर क्या होता है, एकदम से आप एक दिन सुनामी बन जाता है. नेचर क्या करता है? नेचर भी यही करता है. अगर आप नेचर को रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करते, आफ्टर पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम स्टॉप्स टेकिंग प्रेशर, बिकम्स अ सुनामी. Alright? So, these are the things that we should really look up to, a brighter picture, a bigger picture, and this particular topic, which is very, very important, should come from there. Last point I would want to say, जब हमने ये इवेंट शुरू किया था, तो मैम ने कुछ क्वेश्चंस आंसर किए थे, अपने व्यूज बताए थे, एंड मेरे दिमाग में ऐसे थॉट आया कि ऑथर शहरी ये जो काम कर रहे हैं, ये कहीं भी बुलाते हैं, मैं जरूर आता. Alright, मैं इनको हमेशा बोलता हूँ, भाई संडे को मत बुलाया करो, it isn't necessary. Alright, that's why I have to get my daughters along. Right? Now, in this world, right now, जो सारे birds, animals हैं, इनसे इंस्पायर होकर तो हमें करना ही है काम. At the same time, ये जो skill है, the skill of speaking and interpersonal skills, जो हमें infuse करनी है, वो उन लोगों में करनी है जो एनिमल्स से सीख के भी उन बकरियों की तरह बिहेव कर रहे हैं, जो जंगल में बैठी हैं और उनको लगता है हम बोलेंगे तो कोई शेर आके खा जाएगा. राइट? और वो जो बकरियां हैं, उनको पावर देने का काम ये कर रहे हैं ऑथर शेरी. सो ही इज अ वेरी काइंड हार्टेड लायन who tells the बकरीज that you please speak out, come out and live like me. And that is really, really important for our country, very encouraging thing, and very, very important for our generation to come.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, sir. I have one last question, जिसके आप सबके लिए बस छोटे-छोटे से views चाहिए होंगे. Most of us are here who are entrepreneurs as well, और आप सब भी हैं. तो entrepreneurial journey में आपके how did you feel that public speaking has helped you, Mr. Amit?
हमारा तो काम ही पब्लिक स्पीकिंग का है, क्योंकि वहाँ पे बड़े से बड़े एक्टर को बताना पड़ता है कि ये करो, ऐसे करो. क्राउड होता है, काफ़ी हज़ार लोगों को हमको बताना पड़ता है. और मेरे ख्याल से इंडिया में अगर आप देखें तो पब्लिक स्पीकिंग हर कोई कर रहा है. जो आम बेचने वाला है, जब 4 आम बेचने वाले होते हैं तो जो सबसे अच्छा बोल रहा होता है आप उसे खिला के नाम लेते हैं. तो जो पब्लिक स्पीकिंग है ये इनग्रेन है हमारे अंदर. इट्स ओनली दैट कि हम इन चीज़ों को आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पाते हैं, पहचान नहीं पाते हैं, और जो लोग पहचान लेते हैं वो टॉप ऑफ द टॉप.
Thank you, sir.
In entrepreneurship also, I would say public speaking is one platform or one skill which is very essential. For entrepreneurship, ज़्यादा आवश्यकता है. You may be after a particular platform when there is a word which we call runway in entrepreneurship. तो runway means कि आप कब तक अपने बिजनेस को सस्टेन कर सकते हैं. because generally businesses take time to start generating cash flow for your firm to survive and thrive. तो जब रनवे कंप्लीट होने लगता है तो आवश्यकता पड़ती है कहीं बाहर से फंड्स लेके आने की, जो राउंड टू फंडिंग होती है। आजकल मैं देखता हूँ अपने यूनिवर्सिटीज में स्टूडेंट्स में भी वही लोग जब हम एडवाइजरी बोर्ड बुलाते हैं, बैंक के लोग आते हैं उनके आइडिया सुनने के लिए, तो ये है आइडिया आपका अच्छा है कि नहीं है, और उससे भी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट बात होती है कि आपने उस आइडिया को प्रेजेंट कैसे किया, आपने कैसे सपना दिखाया, आपने कैसे बताया कि ये आइडिया जो है कल को कितना सक्सेसफुल होने वाला है। तो वहाँ पे जो पब्लिक स्पीकिंग है, जो कम्युनिकेशन है, जो कॉन्फिडेंस है, वो बड़ा एसेंशियल है। और मैंने देखा है कि जो बैंकर्स हैं, जो वहाँ पे लोग बैठते हैं, इंटरनेशनल लोग भी ऑनलाइन जुड़ते हैं, एडवाइजरी बोर्ड के अंदर ही MSME का बिजनेस इंक्यूबेटर है, वी कॉल इट BI, बिजनेस इंक्यूबेटर बाई MSME। तो उसमें मैं देखता हूँ कि जो स्टूडेंट्स भी आइडिया, हमें लगता है आप लोगों को अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा आइडिया है, लेकिन जिसने अपने आइडिया को कैसे प्रेजेंट किया, कैसे उसने तैयारी करी, कैसे उसने अपनी प्रोजेक्टेड बैलेंस शीट बनाई, प्रोजेक्टेड अपना प्लान किया, और कैसे इम्प्रेसिवली, इम्पैक्टफुली उसने सब लोगों को एड्रेस किया और अपने आइडिया की नीड बताई। आई थिंक दैट प्लेज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल। तो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के अंदर तो पब्लिक स्पीकिंग का बहुत ही ज़्यादा रोल है, क्योंकि हर राउंड में, फर्स्ट राउंड, सेकंड राउंड, थर्ड राउंड, फाइनेंसिंग के लिए आपको हर बार अपने आप को आइडिया को प्रेजेंट करना होगा। तो अगर आप एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप मन में है किसी के, तो मैं समझता हूँ कि आइडिया के साथ साथ उसको इमीडिएटली ऑथर शहरी से बात करके पब्लिक स्पीकिंग पे काम करना शुरू कर देना चाहिए। इट इज़ वेरी एसेंशियल फॉर ए पर्सन हु इज लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू बिकम एंटरप्रेन्योर। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you. So, in our industry, which is the training, speaking, coaching industry, I realize that, like in any other business, the business comes to a person who wins from many people. Even in war, the same thing applies, that victory comes to the person who can compete well with the competitor. And how do you compete? So there's a sales pitch, and you pitch for an event. You pitch for your product, your services. And the person who buys your product depends on how convincingly you pitched it. Now, for example, I have a course which I do for mid-career professionals. Leaders who have either just got into leadership roles or corporate professionals who are getting or who are about to get into a leadership role. So far they were getting promoted, they were getting rewarded for their personal competence. But the moment you become a leader, it is not your personal competence anymore now. It is the competence of, or it's the performance of the team that matters. Which means now, it is not you're doing the job that matters, you're getting the job done. Getting the job done is what matters. So what I hear people say is, I know better than that other guy, but when it comes to speaking in the boardroom, I find that a person who has much lesser knowledge than me, वो उठ के खड़ा होता है, वो बोलता है, उसकी बात सुन लेते हैं, the CEO.
वो make up, fake up things don't work in the longer run. So entrepreneurs have this added responsibility because they are being noticed, people look up to them. So you have to really balance this act of connecting with your audience and with masses or individuals at various levels. So that is one thing. Secondly, as far as, considering this whole thing of speaking and coming out, because of social media having so much of impact in our life, we should never get into a frame of FOMO, fear of missing out, as they call it. कि oh look at that person, वो इतना बोल रहा है, उसने इंस्टाग्राम पे वीडियो डाला, फेसबुक पे वीडियो डाला, उसको इतने लाइक्स आ गए, ठीक है, वो मैं पीछे रह गया, मेरे इतने लाइक्स नहीं आ रहे, ठीक है, उसने 25 वीडियो डाल दिए, मैंने तो 5 ही डाले हैं, उसको 5 लाख फॉलोअर्स हैं, मेरे को 2 लाख हैं, या मेरे को आई एम नॉट ऑन पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म, वो सब नहीं होना चाहिए. डोंट मेक दिस लाइक सर सेड कि अपनी स्ट्रेंथ को अपना वीकनेस नहीं बनाना. एवरी ह्यूमन बीइंग इज यूनिक and we have to treat it in a very unique manner for each one of us, right? So we don't have to get into this. For example, as an entrepreneur, I've always focused on my business, right? We've grown from a 2-people company to 900 people today. But during this journey, I was never on social media. I never felt the need. It was only 2016 when my team said, कि sir, please LinkedIn पे profile बना लो, otherwise people will think it's a ghost company. I said, okay, ठीक है, LinkedIn पे profile बना दो. And LinkedIn का profile, I don't take care of that, somebody else take care of it. All right. So yes, we are on social media. I know what Instagram is, but I'm not there on it. ठीक है. So as an entrepreneur, ज़रूरी है interpersonal skills to put your ideas forth. But like sir said, like Brigadier Saab said, action will always speak louder than words, and that truth will always remain. Thank you so much.
You see, this is true that your actions are there, but I also say that don't be in a dark room winking at a girl because only you know that you're winking, she doesn't know. So you have to be seen doing it also. So you know, to say कि नहीं मेरी truth तो लोग discover कर लेंगे, नहीं, आपको वो truth भी थोड़ी display करनी पड़ेगी before they see it.
Thank you so much, sir. We have Major Mohommed Ali, sir. Please join us on this stage. And we are at the end of this panel discussion, but even that I would like to take one question from you also, sir. Please join us. Welcome, sir. Yeah. So I'll straight come to the question. As a prominent TEDx speaker, you have graced the stage multiple times. So what key factors do you consider in crafting a speech that resonates deeply with the audience? Sir, you have got so much of experience on this, so we would like to have a little bit of knowledge of all these things.
Thank you very much, Prachi. Thank you also, Sharif Bhai, for having sent the kind invitation and doing such a grand event. And thank you to the panelists and my mentors here as well, Brigadier Bhasin. Well, first thing I would like to tell you all that, there are a lot of people who ask me, how do we go on TEDx? And it's my dream to be a TEDx speaker and such things. And I wonder why. Honestly, I don't mean to sound arrogant about it, but I am telling you, I don't know what charm people find in being a TEDx speaker, because if any of you have followed my social media post, which is recently about less than a month back, I put up a post on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram and Facebook saying I would request TEDx not to contact me, please. I am actually, genuinely I'm fed up. So I said that, and I don't want to give, I have refused so many talks recently. So firstly, a lot of people feel that TEDx is this thing. No. Many of you over here would not require TEDx. TEDx would require you rather. Like for example, I'll give you an example of my mentor here, Brigadier Bhasin. TEDx requires him. He doesn't require TEDx. So first is that. Secondly, I wasn't here, but I was following it on live. I mean, what it was going on. My apologies for being late. And that too before a time management coach. I am really embarrassed about it. So, secondly, I would like to say, be good at your craft. If you know your content, know your work, जो इंसान अपना काम जानता है वो धोखा कभी खाता ही नहीं जिंदगी में. Now, one thing, many speakers they ask me that I want to be a paid speaker. I don't want to be giving talks free, which I've been doing. So how do I convert myself into a professional speaker where I would get paid? And how much do I charge for a talk? किसी को assignment आता है तो they give me a call. यार assignment आया है, पैसे मांगूं कि नहीं मांगूं? अच्छा मांगूं, कितने मांगूं मैं? That's one golden question which many people, one hurdle they have to cross. Now it's all personal, it's all relative, it's all see, everyone has a different journey. What Shah Rukh Khan did to become Shah Rukh Khan doesn't mean that the same journey, same path, same road will work for some other actor. Similarly, what Oprah Winfrey did, what Lisa Nichols did, what author Sherry did, what Brigadier Bhasin, somebody else. So everyone has their own different path. You have to find your own carve, your own niche. Now, as Brigadier Bhasin said, you can't be in a dark room. Yes, your visibility is very, very important. भाई जब तक TEDx को मालूम ही नहीं होगा ना कि आप स्पीकर हैं, वो आप तक कैसे पहुंचेंगे? As Jalaluddin Rumi once said, what you are seeking is seeking you. And he also said, never grieve anything that you may lose. It comes back to you in a different form. तो जब तक उनको मालूम नहीं होगा कि भाई हम एक management company, we're looking for a motivational speaker. I don't know that so and so Mr. X exists also. How will I think of calling him? I will only call जो मेरे radar में है ना. तो visibility आप कैसे improve करोगे? On social media, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, be on every single social media. वो तो आपके हाथ में है. And secondly, what is it that makes a powerful talk? By picking a deep voice? No. By speaking loudly? No. By getting thorough research? Yes, one of them. But what is the main thing? Main thing is, I believe, whether the audience is one or over a million, there's one common thing which every listener, every audience is looking for. And what is that one thing? Who will tell? Anyone from the audience? Yes, story, okay, very well said. Yes. Emotional connect, very good. You have answered my question, and that is, sorry I didn't come to you because already my question was answered. And that one thing is a connect. You connect with the audience, and even better, emotional, where emotions are involved. Like, emotion can be not necessarily crying or laughing or anger. Something that moves them, something that's relatable. When you hear a story, as you said, so you should feel, अरे, तो मेरी कहानी है, और अरे मैं तो इसको जानता हूं, मैंने ऐसा कैरेक्टर देखा हुआ है. So when you relate to something like that, in a story form, you touch the emotions, it makes a very, very different speech, different talk altogether. Secondly, I don't want to give a speech because I have always discouraged from giving speeches. I believe in talks. It should be a two-way communication. It should not be a bhashan, कि मैं भाषण दे रहा हूं. And I should look at the audience, I should feel the pulse. कि audience bore हो रहे हैं, so I should know when to stop. Audience are attentive, so I am going on. And that's all. Those are my two pieces of to whatever they are worth. मेरी कोई हैसियत नहीं है to be speaking in such a eminent panel, but still that's what I would say. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
थैंक यू सो मच सर. मैंने आपकी प्रोफाइल देखी है और एक बहुत ही मशहूर जो कहावत है वो ये है कि जो पेड़ बहुत लदा होता है वो हमेशा झुकता है. तो ये आपकी पोलाइटनेस है, आप ऐसा कह रहे हैं. एंड थैंक यू सो मच. आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आई थिंक इट वॉज the discussion for audience as well. They have learned a lot. I have learned personally a lot from all of you. It's an honor to have few questions for you, to design few questions for you, to talk to you, and to be the moderator. I am really, really thankful to MS Talks teams, author Sherry for this opportunity. Thank you so much. With this, we would like to end this discussion. Thank you.